Okay, so it is Wednesday, March 6th, and we have Rhonda on the phone and Julie live in front of her camera. So congratulations to Julie because, oh, and here comes Val. Do we get to see on camera? I don't know if she can hear us yet. So, oh, there you are. Hey, girl. Can you hear us? Kind of.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yeah. So Rhonda, since you can't see, Val is on as well. She is our girl that is now in Knoxville, just graduated from Baylor.
Okay.
Can you hear us, Val? No? You can't hear.
Settings. Your settings.
Here in the chat. Randy says, look at settings.
The bottom of your screen.
Bottom left. All right. I don't know if that helps. There you go. Okay, so welcome. We just started recording, so good timing. So Val kind of floats back and forth between Sundays and Wednesdays. And Val, you have not officially met my friend Rhonda yet, so that's whose person is on the phone number that you see. And she is out in West Virginia. So it's kind of fun. We have 3 different states represented here today. And so I was just congratulating Julie because she won my leader challenge that I had going out. That you guys know I highly, highly believe in events. So I threw a challenge out that anybody who brought at least 2 or for every 2 guests, your name went into a drawing for a bottle of the hot commodity Isogenesis. And Julie brought 2 people with her. She brought her daughter who is thinking of joining Isogenics and one of her team members. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Do you want to, since Val's actually going to go to Columbus to Cindy's this weekend and Rhonda wasn't at either, do you want to share some of your favorite things from the weekend?
Well, we kind of talked about this a little bit yesterday, but just the whole culture of having a large group of people in one room, hearing what the speakers have to say. But really, it's interesting that lots of people have different takeaways from what everybody heard the exact same thing, you know? So that was kind of cool. And also seeing it from the perspective of Debbie, who is really pretty new with even exploring the business side of Isogenics, and then Taylor, who is just learning, and I'm trying to guide her along. So it was kind of fun to see it from their perspective as well. And so yeah, so that's kind of like was my big takeaways. It's just really great to go to an event and just hear different perspectives and hear different aha moments and hear different victories and things like that. So it's just really
awesome. Yeah, and I love, so when she said in one large room, there was only maybe 150 to 200 of us. There wasn't that many people there, not anything like Celebration or NYKO. So it definitely had a crowd, but yet an intimate feeling to it. Boy, Val, I so wish you, oh, and Christy's jumping on. I so wish you could have seen, oh, why am I blanking on their names? Who? Yes, the Norries. That they were so dynamic. And they won't be at Cindy's Super Saturday, but they live in Nashville, I found out, which I didn't realize they were in Nashville. So you may have more opportunities to see them, knowing they're Tennessee as well. Yeah. Christy, so you just jumped on the phone, and you were there Saturday, too. Do you want to share any pivotal moments or what you learned Saturday that really stood out to you?
Can you hear me?
I can.
Oh, there we go. Sorry, my kids had deleted Zoom off my phone.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, so I'll be talking to them. I loved Angelique Norrie. I think the whole Super Saturday was just amazing, but I think her big rainbow that she showed, like faith, myself, family, and business, was the biggest thing that my biggest thing that I got out of it. And I thought about pretty much the whole drive home.
Right. And so to kind of build on that, Val and Rhonda, what she talked about is being in alignment with yourself. And as I was talking to the masterminds on Monday, the way I phrase it is, this girl brought church to Super Saturday. That she was really talking about God knitted you and created you for a certain purpose, and before you were even born. And if you're not staying in alignment and being congruent with the way God made you to be, if you go off on a bunny trail, you need to get back into alignment. And for her, her umbrella that she called was the big four. And in this order: faith, self, which contains body, mind, and spirit; family, and business. And under business, she put purpose. What is your purpose? And I thought that was fantastic as well. My other favorite quote was actually by John Raines from Corporate. Choose to do the things you fear, or you'll be forced to do the things you hate. That I thought was a really great quote. I had never heard that one before. And I also like this too, that Julie Coughlin from Milwaukee talked about. We always know about residual income and the power of two, but she said, really focus on changing their habits and help them fall in love with the journey. And I think we forget that especially people where, I'm going to use Julie and Chrissy as an example. Like, we've been gym rats. Like, this wasn't this huge epiphany because, we've always done this. You think about somebody who's in the 100-pound club, or who's never stepped foot in a gym, or has lived on junk food and Diet Coke their whole life. Like, this is a major transition. And I personally forget what a big deal it is. Like, we really have to remember this is a big transition for them. And so that was a really good reminder, for me to hear as well. Okay, so we've been talking about this, and I'm pretty sure are all 5 of us through all of the Forever Pak videos and thinking we want to lead with the Forever Pak. Yes?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so you guys know this week we have free enrollment, and we still have no isogenesis. Now, the good thing about the Forever Pak is, to me, it kind of frees us up of ever having to worry about incentives, because those of us that have been around for a while, you'll see that people chase incentives, meaning when you do your follow-up work, they're like, oh, contact me next time you have free enrollment. And so one platform you could take with this Forever Pak is never promote when we have free enrollment or free shipping, because you can sign up on the Forever Pak for $200 at any time. The other platform you could take, and this is what, so on Sunday night, Lisa gave us a heads up that free enrollment was going to come on board. So Dawn Pasenko, Lori Olson, Randy, me, and Lisa did a Zoom call brainstorming, like, how do we take advantage if people do want to take advantage? Because this week it's not just free enrollment, it's free enrollment plus 10% off. And so what we didn't realize is that, and Dawn brought this to our attention, Dawn Pasenko, you can order a kit with a complete essentials with isogenesis, and they are shipping out. Now, people who are earning free vitamins, they're not being shipped yet. I don't know if they're going out for just straight orders if it's not a new enrollment. Rhonda, did you ever try and do that?
Yes, I tried to put the isogenesis in my cart. Obviously, that wouldn't take that. I tried to put the essentials, the vitamins with the isogenesis in my cart. It would not take that.
Okay, were you trying to do that in an auto ship or an outside order?
Auto ship.
I think it might take it on an outside order, so you might try that.
No, it doesn't.
Oh, it doesn't?
No,
okay.
I tried.
Okay, so it must be new customers only that they're able to do this. And knowing, isogenesis is such a hot commodity, I don't know how long we're going to be able to do this. However, my mom supposedly enrolled somebody yesterday doing it this way, and she never got back to me, so I'm assuming it went through. But what they figured out for the BV to get above 150 with the 10% off is that you can do, and I never paid attention that they even had this system in the back office, that there is a system called, it's not Complete Essentials. Hold hold on, I'm looking it up because I can't remember exactly what the pack called. The pack is under Vitality and Wellbeing. So category-wise, that's where you're going to find it. And it comes with 2 shake canisters and
it's called Everyday Essentials Value.
Thank you. I just saw that. So Everyday Essentials Pack is under the systems, under Vitality and Wellbeing. So you're getting 2 shake canisters and complete essentials with isogenesis. But it's still not high enough BV, so you need to add 1 more shake. I know Val really likes the idea of adding an Ionics, and I love Ionics too, but I really want to try and follow the simplicity of just 2 products and see if we can get them on it after they've started those 2 products. And so if you do 3 shakes and the complete essentials using this Everyday Essentials pack, you're basically swapping free enrollment for that 3rd shake. And it's going to come out about $245-ish, give or take, depending on everybody's different shipping and tax. So, you know, here's your choice. You can do the Forever Pak with just 4 shakes at $200, or do this pack where you're getting 3 shakes and the vitamins for $250. So, you know, choose which way you want to position yourself. Obviously, that's a great reason, because I'm all about having reasons to call back people. And so that's another great thing to look at as well. The other thing is, with this duplicatability with the second video on the foreverpak.com, I want to be sure that we're not forgetting that that's a great resource for us to go back and talk to our team. You know, have you seen both videos on the Forever Pak? Would you like to try and get your products paid for? You know, what did you think of that power of 2? And I always like to come from the posture of accountability partners make this journey so much better. You know, it's just like going to the gym. If you're meeting somebody at the gym, you're not going to blow off your workout because that person's going to, you know, give you a bunch of hell for not showing up. So why not have that accountability partner with this journey too and get the products paid for? So this week is the Rapid Crystal Director deadline. And what that is, for those of you that are going for it, is 6 consultants. So 6 people where you've taught them to share it with 2 people. And I know it sounds daunting, but I've heard of people hitting executive and director in, you know, a week or 2, that it's kind of one of those, you know, what can you do? How many calls can you make? One of the things I always forget about, and Randy's really good about, have you left, Randy? Come in here a second, please. So he's really good about explaining the volume in your bank and how it equates to money. So I want you to join us and explain that whole like banked volume and how you figure out how much money it is. He didn't know I was going to do this, so I'm putting him on the spot.
Good morning, ladies. It's really not difficult when you look in your back office under someone. What you see is obviously their left side and their right side, but you'll also see personal holding volume for a lot of people. So you take the weakest leg and add it to the personal holding volume.
I'm looking to see if I can find an example to show you guys.
And then essentially, if they have a lot of volume on their right leg, then all you do is divide the left leg by the 300. And that'll give you enough cycles in there, because the 600 on the other side will probably be covered if they have a lot of volume. I'm trying to think of who does that.
I'm looking. Now, here's the key. Talk about the importance of keeping 100 BV every month, and what happens if you don't.
Right. If you don't and you go inactive, then it washes out. You start all over at 0. You got to come back up to the 100 BV, and then you'll start accumulating again. And that includes your holding volume. So once you use up all your holding volume, usually your holding volume
Can we
is
use mine
gone.
as an example showing how much BV I have on this side?
We can. Like Jody's got 173,000 BV in her left leg. And her right leg is her weak leg.
Okay, so I'm going to share screen. So just pretend I was not a consultant yet. Okay. That's not what I want. Where'd you guys go?
Make that whole,
Which?
that
This?
green button.
This.
Okay, so what you're seeing here
You guys can
is,
see this, right?
Yep.
okay,
Okay.
so
You move the mouse.
right there, Jody was not a consultant for a long time, but she kept the 100 BV. And that's why she's got 173,438 BV. That's also happens, the left leg that we're looking at here also happens to be my strong left leg, which happens to be one of Lisa's strong legs. So we ended up with a lot of BV, and this is kind of how I started. So I never worried about that strong leg as I was building. And what we're doing is we're actually building over here on Jody's right leg now. So almost everybody we're enrolling is going underneath her on her right leg. That's going to force her to cycle. That's also going to build up my leg, which is my left leg is now my weak leg. And that's going to help me cycle. Plus, as an executive, I'll also get 10% matching bonus of whatever she makes. So we're taking advantage of everything we can with this to try to maximize our income through the cycles. But the big thing is, if somebody's got 173,000 or even 20,000 BV or 8,000 BV in a strong leg, and they've got holding volume.
I want to show another example. Keep talking. Okay,
Sounded
stop
like you were
share.
going to talk. So you take that holding volume,
I want a smaller screen. There we go.
you take the holding volume and add it to the weak leg. And that's why you can see the big leg, the strong leg, you can divide that by 600 and go on forever. But you try to use up all of the BV in the personal holding volume and whatever is in that weak leg. By adding the two together, divide them by 300.
Talk to them about customer first with.
That's not the right one.
Okay. Yes, it is. I got it. Okay. We just had somebody. So a couple things I want to talk about is that when I started, we all started as associates. And they really didn't have a timeline of when your banked volume aged out, I'll call it. So it took me 14 months to decide I wanted the business, but I was very intentional about keeping that 100 BV every month. So when I did flip and enroll my first two people, I cycled something like 14 times. So I became a 1-star instantly because I had over 10 cycles. Now when they went to customer first, is that when somebody enrolls, you guys know we all come in as a preferred customer. Once they go to associate, and there's different thoughts on this, a lot of people we've been listening to lately have them flip to associate immediately. We've always said wait till they have their second person and have them do it right before their second person. So whichever camp you're in, the second they flip to associate, they then start that crystal map reset. But
And they start accumulating.
Well,
the bank.
but what they actually start accumulating their bank of their orders
Right.
from the time they started their day one as customer. And they have 3 months where it will build and bank. Then they have another 3 months where they just hold it. And so at the end of 6 months, you guys may have seen where corporate does an email saying, this person's about to lose their banked volume. Basically, that's telling you they joined 6 months ago and it banked for 3 months and it held for 3 months. And if they don't flip to become an associate and enroll 2 people, that banked volume is going to go to 0.
So
did you guys follow me on that? Does that make sense? I see a bunch of confused looks.
I had to step away for a second, so I was.
Okay. So what I was saying is that when somebody enrolls, the first day they enroll, even as a customer, it's going to bank their volume for 3 months where it will build from their personal orders. And then at that 3 months, it's going to hold it, but it holds that volume. But then maybe you've seen a letter come through for corporate saying your associate has hit 6 months. they're going to lose their banked volume if they don't click the button to become an associate. So what that is saying is, and I think this is where the Forever Pak is going to be so key. This duplication and having these tools of foreverpak.com is going to make it easier and easier for us to, I think, convert to associates and consultants. And then people are going to take advantage of banking their volume.
And I'd really like to speak into that, is that even before that 6 months comes up, with the way that they've got the scripting, can you get rid of that? We don't need it anymore.
No, I want to show them one more person.
No, you got to get rid of it.
No.
I can't see the beautiful faces.
Just keep looking and talking into the green.
So, with the scripting that they've got, the 7-day welcome call or celebration call that they've got, if you follow the script in there, they talk about, again, after the welcome call, about the business opportunity. So that's the second time they've talked about the business opportunity. And I think it's really important to keep that in there is, in the celebration call is, how do you feel? Scale, non-scale, and don't you think somebody else would also like to feel this good? One of your friends deserve to feel this good, type of thing. And they've got the scripting in there and it's beautifully done.
You literally have to read word for word. Read it.
And as you lead into that, who do you know? Once again, a couple of your girlfriends, the girl at the beauty salon, at the cash register at the Jewel, whatever it might be. People know a lot of people. I mean, if you look on your Facebook page and look under your friends and how many you've got in there, if you look on your phone and see how many people in your address book you've got,
let's talk about the girls on Sunday. One of Randy's classmates told us from the beginning, I'm not interested in sharing. We did the celebration call, and she said, I'm not good at sales. I don't want to sell this. And Randy beautifully reframed it and said, this is really a referral thing. It's just like when you find a favorite restaurant or go see a great movie, that if you know anybody looking to feel better. And she said, oh, well, I do have a girlfriend who's having gut issues too. Maybe I'll share this with her. So here she went from telling us no twice to, oh, well, if it's a referral, I can do that.
Right.
All in the same conversation.
And I think that's another thing too, is that these people that I've enrolled and that I'm working with right now, I went through my entire address book and Facebook, and I sent out a note to every single person about, would you be interested in this video to watch? And I just used the script that they had in the playbook. Mm-hmm. But we're talking close to 100 people or more that I sent this out to. And you've got to play the numbers, because out of that 100, you may have 10 people that respond.
Right.
And join.
Okay, so next I want to share another screen, because this is another situation.
Do you need me anymore?
Actually, before you run away, Rhonda, you're going to need to smile, and we're going to pretend we can see you, but I'm going to do a screenshot of everybody. So all of us will smile, and we'll think you're smiling, Rhonda. Ready? Awesome. Thank you. Now you can run away.
You got to change your phone thing on here to a smiley face instead of a phone on the camera.
Okay, so the other situation I want to talk about, because I think this has happened with all of us so far, is we have people who once were a consultant and one of their people fell off, and so now they're not a consultant anymore. And, it gets easier and easier. So, Julie, I'm going to pick on you and use you as an example. I remember when you first started, it was Michael, her husband, and one other person. And so when it's somebody that is in your same household on your same budget, it makes it harder to keep that consultant if, you're trying to limit how much you're personally spending. But as you continue to build, and now you have 4 people on each leg, it takes some of that pressure off of, I need to, maybe you don't need to keep Michael's account as active because you have enough people on that same side to keep that side active. But, the key is obviously keep sharing and teach them to share. And as your team grows, the more money that comes in, but it also frees up you from having to, have to put money into that second account. Does that make sense? However, we will talk about strategy about how you'll want to do that anyway. But I have a girl who was a consultant for a long time, like a year, and she dropped off of consultant status. And so we messaged her because, again, Randy will dig down and go through his tree and see who has some banked volume. And so he got a hold of this person and said, hey, I haven't shared my screen yet, have I? Do you realize, can you guys see that now?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Let me move you guys around. Do you realize that if you and it was as simple as putting an order under her husband, if you activate Tony, you are going to cycle 7 times. Okay, we sent her this message for 4 weeks straight. Like, come on, girl. Do you see how simple this is? Like, you're going to cycle 7 times. So all she had to do was place an order at 100 BV, and she got paid $378. So some of those things where the more you build, you kind of need to pay attention as to what some of your people are doing, especially if they've been past consultants. Go look at what their banked volume is. Go look to see what they need to be active again, and then coach them like, hey, if you add one more person, or call your team and do a check-in and see how they're doing and introduce the new isobiome or introduce the Forever Pak or, whatever. Do you know that once they become active and place an order again, you will cycle X amount of times? And so that's a really great coaching tool to go back. Where do I have you guys? There we go. Stop share. I like seeing your faces better. To go back and make sure that 1, we're doing our job as coaches, but 2, help them so that they're not getting stuck and frustrated. And, 3, making sure all of us are making money. So just be sure to remember to kind of check your back office, look for some bank volume. How can you help people either promote or re-promote to consultants? Questions on any of this? Because I knew we threw a bunch of information at you.
Where do you
I have a
find your
question.
bank volume?
So when you're on, let me go back to share screen. When you're on there, so you're in your back office, go to view my team.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're on view my team, click on them as a person. So I clicked on this person, and when you scroll down, it's going to show you. So what's funny is she hadn't been paid for a manager for probably 6-8 months. She cycled 7 times a month ago, and she cycled again this month. So, that may be the spark she needs to get some consistency back and to maybe start sharing again or whatever, is going on. So if under view my team, click the person, scroll down, here's your banked value. So this will show you like what they have for their left side, their right side. And then usually under here, it'll say holding volume. So for example, when somebody's new, and I'm trying to think of somebody new that I could try and show you their screen. Let me stop share. When somebody is new, there's literally going to be a category. All right, let me see if I can do a new person. Hold on one second. I don't want to enroll new customer. Wrong thing. All right, let me see who some of my last people were that we enrolled that they would show holding volume. All right, let me try this one. Okay. Are you guys still there?
Yeah.
Okay, it was saying like I moved out of my, we've removed, did you upgrade my Zoom? You. Okay, it just said they've removed my 40-minute time period. I thought I lost you guys there for a second. Okay, hold on. Let me pull a person because I think I know who to pull that should have some holding volume. Maybe. If I can find her. So what I was just saying to Randy is we used to have a 40-minute timeout because I was going with the free one. And for some reason, it said they just gave me a gift and gave me no time restraint anymore. So yay, I'll take it.
Nice.
All right, let me see what this person has. Okay, so this person just joined. So let me screenshot this. And clearly their holding volume is not going to be a lot because they just joined. but it'll at least give you guys a chance to see this. So Angie joined last month, and it's showing, I can tell she's on the right side because she only has volume on the right side because she hasn't enrolled anybody yet. So her left leg is her weak leg, her right leg is her strong leg. And with her order, she personally has 85 holding BV. So in these first 6 months, when it says they're going to store your volume every time you place an order, that's going to show up here under holding volume. When it's somebody like Stacy, who's been around a while, was a consultant before, she may not have holding volume, but she definitely has, she had holding volume that cashed her out to cycle 7 times. But obviously she breezed through that now and does not have any holding volume left. So when you're going through looking for your team, going, who has holding volume, this is where you want to look. And then what you do, like Randy was saying, is you add this number to your weak leg and divide that by 300, and it will tell you how many times they're going to cycle. So holding volume always goes to your weak leg. Okay, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, a couple of you guys had more questions. Did I answer them, or do you guys still have more questions?
What happens after the 6 months? Like, so they clear it out after 6 months.
Right, so it goes to 0. So they stay a customer, they stay an associate, they've just lost their banked volume.
But does it start accruing again? Like,
I don't know. I think, good question. I don't know the answer. My guess would be like once they start sharing, once they flip to associate and they start sharing, it would start accruing, but I don't know. You'd have to look in customer first.
yeah.
Good question. I don't know the answer to that. Remember, I'm not the detail person.
I'm going to tell you no because Debbie's at 0.
Okay.
And she's in a year.
Okay.
She's at
So
0 holding.
So yeah, so if we can capture and get them, flipping to associate in that first 6 months, that's going to be big because then they get their volume.
Okay.
Okay, what other questions?
So as I'm trying to like build up momentum and get some new enrollments going, should I purposely be looking to place people into my weak side instead of?
Yeah, I don't necessarily. So with you guys, because you're not an executive, before you hit executive, they suggest you don't chase cycles where you only build on the weak leg. What I like to do is, I got to think where you are, Val. I look for what I call look for holes. So with that, until you hit executive, I look every time to see, do I have enough volume of 100 volume on one side and 100 volume on the other side to stay a consultant. So say on your one leg, you had 150 volume, and on your other leg, you had 70 for volume. I would for sure enroll the next person on the side you have 70. Once you're in a place like, I'll use Rhonda as an example, because, Rhonda, you're an old timer here in this group on 5, 6 years with us. She clearly has enough people to always stay a consultant because she has, a ton of people under her. For her, what we're looking at is how many consultants does she have and where are her holes for consultants, because she's still trying to get to executive. So do I have 4 consultants on one side and 1 consultant on the other side, because she is a director? Where are your holes? And so we were that lopsided. When we were director, we were 4 and 2. So then we purposely enrolled on the side with the 2 consultants because I'm looking for a consultant. Mm-hmm. So I would look for filling your holes first, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Then what I look at is, and this is what, and I can't think of their names. They live out in Washington. Cindy did a training call, Tyler Dickerhoof did a call for Cindy about placement. So for you guys, and actually everybody on the phone has this situation. So Val uses her dad for a second account. The rest of us use our spouses for second account. Once you hit your goal or hit executive, so you're getting executive matches, what he recommended is, and this is what Randy was talking about, is instead of enrolling under me, we're enrolling now as Randy as the sponsor, but you can personally pick them to go on my weak leg, which for me is my right leg. So we knew we could do this placement before customer first. We didn't realize we could do it once they converted to the customer first. So we've gone back just this month in doing that. So, and the reason he suggests doing that is once you hit the leadership pools only pay 4 levels deep. Our whole compensation plan, there's no floor, but just in the leadership pools, it's 4 levels deep. So if we were to enroll on my account versus him enrolling on his account under me, we lose a level of pool money we could be getting. Does that make sense to you guys?
Yeah.
Okay. Julie, are you getting that?
Yeah.
So once we get, and you don't have Michael as consultant yet. So I would say, you know, my first goal is I want everybody to have enough people to always hold consultant because we want you to get your products paid for. Once you have enough people getting paid as, so you are staying a consultant, I do think that our secondary account, the spouses or Val, your dad, is a great gimme because that is an automatic consultant for you in your track to executive. And now that we learned that you can put these people under them, under you, that's going to increase the dad cycles, which will increase your cycles. So like, you know, Julie, when you build Michael up to a consultant, he's going to cycle, which forces you to cycle that.
So first I want to put 2 under him to make him a consultant first.
When you're comfortable enough that you know you're secure to stay a consultant. So like right now, I think you have like 3 and 3 or 4 and 4 on each side.
I have 7 and 6.
Okay. And so at this point, yes, I would say, you know, as long as it's looking like you're way over the 100 each side, that you're not in jeopardy of falling out of consultant, then your next few people I would build under Michael, create him to be a consultant. And then once he has a cushion where he's going to stay a consultant, so say 3 or 4 people under him, then I would go back to enrolling them as you, the enrolling sponsor, but placing them under him.
Okay, I got it.
Does that make sense to Christy and Rhonda? Since Rhonda, I can't see you shaking your head, yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Have you done that with Brett yet?
Yes, he's a consultant and he has he's just barely staying at the consultant level, but I have put my own people under him.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yes, and people don't know where they are as far as placement. Like Julie, you're on Randy's team, you know, Val, you're on my team. People don't know where they are. We coach them and treat them the same. So to us, it really doesn't matter. It's all about strategy and how can we get paid the most at that point. So Christy, did you follow along with what I was saying?
Yeah, I understand it.
Okay.
To do it.
Okay. So yeah, like I said, first priority is making sure you guys have enough cushion that you always stay a consultant, and then go ahead and make your spouse a consultant, and then keep building, you know, from there on out, because you still want to get your 10 consultants to hit executive.
Got it.
All right, now that I've probably completely overwhelmed you with a bunch of information between free enrollment and, you know, customer first, banked volume, and where to place, that should be enough homework for you guys. But literally keep using that guidebook. I think that's huge. For those of you that are local, I did decide to throw a last minute sampling event on Sunday at 4, which I've never done one on a Sunday at 4. And I kind of don't know what I'm doing, but I think I'm going to talk about telomeres, do a little Q&A, and then I'm going to show the video. And on the Forever University site, which hopefully everybody's on, I think I've added everybody to that, somebody did a question of, hey, I'm having my first event, what do you recommend? So they brought up this Diane Sawyer 2-minute piece she did 4 years ago. And so I, instead of showing it that night, because I don't want to keep adding another video on, I used it as my teaser in the event. And so Val, even though you're not local, I can add you to the event just so you can see what I'm posting in there to attract attention. And I can do that for you too, Rhonda. And
yes,
so you guys are thinking, you know, hey, I want to take advantage of this free enrollment this week and you're open to throwing together an event, go for it. I know, Val, you're going to Ohio. And
Yeah.
Obviously, Julie and Christy, feel free to invite people to come. And if you want to come, you're welcome to. I'll totally be flying by the seat of my pants because this is going to look all different. So,
Okay.
All right. Well, thanks for tuning in. And Val, we can't wait to hear your takeaways after going to Super Saturday in Columbus. So have a great time.
I'm excited.
Yeah. Randy's very nervous. For those of you who don't know, Cindy asked him to be on a panel with 3 other women. So I don't think he has his questions yet of what's going to be asked, but I'm supposed to dress him and make sure he looks all, okay on the panel. So yeah, it'll be fun.
He'll do great.
Yeah, I think so too. So, and I'm not sure how many people Cindy has going, but my guess is probably 100 or so in the room there as well. Yeah. So have a great time this weekend, and we will catch up next weekend then.
Sounds good.
Okay, thank you.
All right, have a great week, everyone.
All right.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.